I'm Alexis and welcome to the video. So for today's video, I wanted to show you guys meal prepping and also give you guys some tips on how to meal prep and how to structure a meal plan throughout the week, depending on what your schedule's like and what your goals are. Now keep in mind, I am not doing a lot of portion control and things like that. I'm 5 months pregnant, so my focus mainly is just making sure that I'm getting my meals in and eating enough, especially because I am breastfeeding still. I am breastfeeding he's almost 2, he'll be 2 in December, breastfeeding my toddler. I'm 5 months pregnant and I'm still working out. So that's a lot of calories that I'm losing in a day, whether they go to the baby, whether they go to Christoph, or whether I'm just burning them during a workout. So my focus again is mainly just making sure I'm eating enough. However, I will give you some tips on how to portion your meals if that's what you're looking for, but it doesn't depend on your personal goals. It depends on your body composition. So there's a lot of different factors for it. So this is kind of just like a baseline video. So let's just hop right into it. Now, before I go ahead and start meal prepping and cooking, which is going to be pretty self-explanatory, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some tips on how to structure a meal plan and how to know what you're going to be putting in your meal plan and in your meals and portion control and things like that. So an easy rule of thumb that I like to utilize is always making sure I have a protein, a carb, and some type of veggie mixed in with my meal. So that could just be chicken, some potatoes, and broccoli. So I keep it pretty basic, and then from there I know I can add or subtract or restructure things, or if I want a protein shake instead, all those little things. It makes it a lot easier to kind of mix and match, so to speak. So if I have my list of proteins that I like, the proteins that I utilize the most during my pregnancy are chicken and ground beef, and then I'll add in some ground turkey, and I have eggs in the morning usually. So those are 4 proteins that I like to utilize, and I can just mix and match them depending on what my meal is and depending on the time of day and just what I want in general. The carbs that I utilize the most are yellow potatoes, some sweet potatoes, and rice. And I alternate between those. Finally, with my veggies, I like to have Brussels sprouts, green beans, asparagus, kale, spinach. It kind of just depends if I'm having a salad or if I'm having a hot meal. I also add spinach to my protein shakes and things like that. So that's pretty basic. So put it on the screen. So my proteins: chicken, ground turkey, ground beef, eggs. Those are my proteins. For my carbs, potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice. For my veggies, now this gets I can go all over the place with my veggies. I like a lot of different veggies, so it's really easy to mix and match what I want. But in general, I like to stick to asparagus, Brussels sprouts, green beans, spinach, cucumbers, zucchini, peppers, things like that, okay? And also, yes, my potatoes I often consider with my veggies as well, but those are my carbs. So my veggies are usually like my leafy greens. Oh, tomatoes as well. Those are my veggies. I know they can be fruits or veggies, but I always put them with my veggies. Now, I also like to have fruits a lot, and I put in fruits with my shakes, and I also incorporate some type of fruit on my plate because Christoph likes them as well, okay? So pretty basic. I like to stick to whole foods, and then I can mix and match from there. So I also have notes on my phone, so I'm going to be utilizing my phone because I don't want to forget anything, and I have pregnancy brain as well. So for your fats can be egg yolks, avocados, avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, almonds, peanut butter. So your fats, there are more options than you think. And you want to make sure you're using the right portion of your fats, just like you want to use the right portion of your carbs and your proteins, depending on what your goals are, okay? Some people have a higher intake of fat, and that works really well for them. I often have a higher intake of carbs and proteins, and that works well for me. Now, sit down. I see you. Now, when it comes to your veggies of different color provide different health benefits. So it's a good rule of thumb to just make sure you're kind of eating the rainbow. So like for your reds, you could have radish, tomatoes, beets, rhubarb, red onions, red cabbage. That's going to be hot soon. And then for your yellows or your oranges, you have pumpkins, you have butternut squash, you have yellow carrots, summer squash, carrots. For purple, you have purple peppers, which I did not know. I don't usually see purple peppers actually. You have purple asparagus, you have purple cauliflower, eggplants, purple cabbage. Your whites, you have white carrots, you have cauliflower, onions, shallots, mushrooms. And then for your greens, which are pretty broad, you have broccoli, romaine lettuce, celery, green beans, kale. You have asparagus, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, spinach, cucumbers, zucchinis. So you have a lot of options for vegetables. So no matter what your taste preference is or what your preferences are, you'll be able to have options to fit your particular needs for your meal plan and what you like. So meal prepping and meal planning doesn't have to be boring because it's healthy. It can actually be really great, fun, delicious, all of the above. So you don't have to not enjoy your meal plan to feel like you're getting all the benefits and that you're actually reaching your fitness goals. It just comes down to being a little creative and researching and knowing what you like. For a meal prep today, I'm utilizing a red pepper, zucchini, sweet potato, some yellow potatoes, green beans, broccoli, ground beef, and chicken thighs. I pretty much use the same seasoning for all of my foods. And while it might seem like a lot, it actually gets cooked out a lot too, so. So I'm going to go ahead and air fry my chicken thighs. I'm just setting the temperature. I put mine on 330 and I'm setting the time for 15 minutes. And I'll check on it in between that to make sure it's not overcooked. I have 2 more chicken thighs in here that I will put in. I just don't want it to be overcrowded as I'm cooking. My sweet potato is almost done. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes. It's been in for 5 minutes so far. My potatoes are just about done. And I have the heat on low. I was going to use these meal prep containers today, and I thought I was going to have to use these sandwich bags. That's why I had them out, but I'm not, so I'm going to put them away. Now, the meal prep containers that I will be using are these pretty glass ones that I purchased. And then everything else is just going to go in a separate Tupperware container if there's too much. I often work with moms, and a question I often get asked is, how do I structure a meal plan for both me and my kid or things like that. So for me personally, I'm home a lot, so I don't have to meal prep all that often. But what I like to do is I make meals that I can share with Christophe, or I make a smaller portion for him. So basically, if I'm gonna cook some chicken, I'm going to just cook my portions of chicken and I will chop some up, put some on his plate, I have some on my plate. If I have tomatoes, I'm gonna have tomatoes on my plate and on his plate. But that's because I know what vegetables and what fruits and what meats he eats. So I'm not going to put something on his plate that I know he's not going to eat or he's not able to chew properly. I don't put a lot of spinach leaves and lettuce on his plate because it's harder for him to chew them, just because of his age. Now, an easy way for me to meal prep is I incorporate foods that he eats as well. Christophe eats, luckily, a wide range of fruits and vegetables. He likes cucumbers and tomatoes, zucchini, apples, bananas, mangoes, blueberries, strawberries. He eats a lot of stuff that I eat, so that makes it a lot easier for me. And he eats chicken, he eats ground beef, he eats ground turkey, he loves eggs. So when I'm cooking breakfast for myself, I just go ahead and make a portion for him as well. That keeps it simple, takes the guesswork out. It also makes it so that I am not trying to scramble to figure out a separate meal plan for him. What I eat, he eats. If there's something on my plate that he does not eat, I just don't include it on his. So that's something that I do that's really easy for me. I'll include some pictures of our plates, and so you can kind of get an idea and a visual of what my plate looks like, what his plate looks like, and how I structure a meal plan like that. Now, when I'm leaving the house and I need to make snacks for him, I often just include a lot of fruits and vegetables and stuff that he can just kind of grab himself and eat in the car. So I include like his blueberries, some grapes, strawberries, a banana. I chop up apples and oranges, things like that for him that I know he can just grab if I need to give him something in the car while we're driving, or if we go somewhere, or if we go somewhere, he can just have his little Tupperware container or his little Ziploc bag, and he has his snacks. I also include things like his little, actual snacks you buy at the store, like little goldfish or graham crackers, fruit snacks, little juice boxes. I have a bottle of water for him. So meal prepping for him as I'm leaving the house is actually super easy. It's very much just a grab and go, and I often already have that stuff planned the night before, and I just have everything in Ziploc baggies. I throw it in his lunch pail, and we're good to go in the morning. Okay, I hope that helps on the end of how do I meal prep with a child. Ground beef now. I already have my potatoes and my sweet potatoes in the containers. My green beans are almost done, and then I will cook my broccoli. We are in the home stretch now, people. And again, in case I forgot to include the clip or something, when you are meal prepping, you need to make sure that you let your food cool before you seal up your Tupperware container or whatever, a glass container, whatever you're putting your food in, because if you store it while it is hot, it can grow bacteria on your food. Now, I'm not saying that I've never done that. Sometimes I have gone ahead and sealed up my container and I've eaten it in the car or something, but if you're gonna be letting it sit for a while, like putting it in the fridge or something, you need to let it cool first and then put it in the fridge. Just some food for thought. Obviously, do whatever pleases you. Now, I am cooking my ground beef now. Christophe just had a diaper change, so he is feeling oh so fresh. And I like to add sriracha to my ground beef, so I'm gonna grab some sriracha. Don't touch. Christophe really likes being involved with the cooking process, but I also want him to be careful not to get burned. Baseline for portion control, I don't utilize this very much, but if you want to know it, You can utilize your hand to determine the portions and the sizes of the foods that you're eating. So for women, it's 1 portion size, and for men, it's 2 portion sizes. So for protein, it is the palm of your hand. For vegetables, it is a fist. For carbs, it's a cup. And for, so just make a little cup, put the carbs in there. And for fat, it is your thumb. So that's something easy if you're at a restaurant or something like that and you're trying to figure out what your portion sizes are. There you go. All right, something that I like to utilize are Ziploc baggies for my protein shakes. So I like to have pre-done baggies that I can just toss in the blender or take with me if I'm going to my mom's house or something and utilize her blender. So I'm gonna show you guys that first. All right, options that you can put in your smoothie bags. Now, you can get some bananas. I get most of my produce and my groceries in general from Walmart, if you're curious. That's why you're gonna see stuff like Great Value, that's a Walmart brand. But here are some frozen bananas, some frozen avocado, mango chunks. These are from, this bag is from Costco, and strawberries. This bag is also from Costco. That's why it's so large. Now, if you don't have the option, if you want bananas and you don't have the option of frozen bananas like this package, what you can do is get your bananas that are, I get my bananas that are more ripe than I like to just eat. I don't like to eat bananas with brown spots on them. That's just my preference. So I get these bananas before they go bad and I just freeze them. So you get your little sandwich bag, and you don't have to use a freezer bag for these, I've realized. You can just use a regular sandwich bag. Peel the banana, okay? I've made the mistake of freezing it with the peel on, and that does not work, okay? So go ahead and peel your banana, and I always break mine into 2s. There's 1. 2. Got that in there. Then from there, I can add in my strawberries. I usually utilize about, I don't know, 4 or 5 strawberries. You want some more mangoes? Okay. There you go. Christoph likes to eat frozen fruit. Add in my strawberries. Now I'm going to add in my mango chunks, which is usually just about a handful, like so. Now I'm going to grab my spinach, leaves to be specific, and there you go. There is a quick and easy smoothie bag. That's just one option. Obviously, you can add in your avocado, you can add in blueberries, you can add in raspberries. Have fun with it. I don't usually put my protein powder in this packet. I put it in a separate sandwich bag and just take both of them. An easy option that you can utilize if you're going to be traveling or something like that, and you can put your smoothie ingredients in a cooler of some sort, you can always just buy pre-done package. You can always just buy smoothie kits, so to speak, or little baggies that already have everything already included in the freezer section. So this is one that I like for acai, and this one has acai, kale, strawberry, apple, and blueberries, and I'll show you what it looks like inside. So they come in little packets like this, and you just add it into your blender, add in your juice or water or milk, whatever you want to include, blend it up. I always include my protein powder in all of my shakes, so these come in handy. There's also stuff like this. I got this from Walmart, and you can see what it includes on the bottom: mango, bananas, apples, pineapple, and spinach. Both of them are really great alternatives. So that's one thing if you don't have all of the separate ingredients to include yourself. Okay, so for the last part of the video, I wanted to show you guys how I like to make my protein shakes. I'm gonna start off with some frozen chopped avocado. And I really just guesstimate how much I'm gonna put in there. If I don't use avocado, I like to use a scoop of peanut butter. So I like to add that. I'm gonna go ahead and add this little half of a banana that I have, that I froze a little while ago. I'm going to get handful of strawberries. So this is what it looks like so far, since you guys can't see. Now I'm going to add some spinach leaves. And I pretty much always add spinach leaves to my shakes. It's just a way for me to make sure I'm getting in enough greens, even though I do take my green supplements in the morning. Now I'm going to add my fiber boost. This is what the bag looks like. And I decided to go with my vanilla flavor protein powder instead of the chocolate. And it is 2 scoops of protein powder. Finally, I get my almond milk. Chris is trying to be quiet in the background. My almond milk, because I told him to be quiet while I filmed this last bit. But of course you can hear Kristoff. And then I shake it. And I mix. Good job. Good job. Now, I like my shakes thick, but when I want to go ahead and drink them, I'll just go ahead and add a little bit more almond milk. Because I usually make my shakes thick because I drive to my mom's house, and during the car ride, they start to melt a little bit. You want your cake again? Okay, let's do this one more time. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Yeah. He always takes my protein shakes. I know. And I have a lot of different recipes. You want to go back over there? Okay, you want to go? Okay, I'm going to pour it for you. And I'm just rinsing my top off really fast. I'm going to go ahead and put away my frozen. Now, I like to have mine in my mason jar, so I'm going to go ahead and pour it out. And then, just because, I'm going to add some whipped cream to it. And now it looks really pretty. Ta-da! I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!